What is up, awesome people, and welcome back to my Pokemon trading card game card opening series. Right, so in the last episode we opened up the Furious Fist theme deck, which was the Dark Hammer set, which is Pangoro's featured deck, and the episode before that we did Sivion's theme deck, which was Enchanted Echo. Pangoro was Dark Fighting and Sivion was Fairy and Grass type. So already I'm quite intrigued with the Furious Fist expansion. However, in this episode and the next episode, we're going to take a jump back into the Furious Fist, Flash Fire expansion. They both start with F, which is quite annoying. In this episode, we're going to be opening up the Pyroar box, which was released just near the end of Flash Fire's expansion lifetime before they moved on to Furious Fist. And in the next episode, we'll jump on to the very last box that was released, which was the Crocodile EX box. Which, I think it's EX? Yes, it's EX. Alright, so Pyroar. This one has, I think, kind of the same like the Charizard box. Comes with Pyroar as a never before seen foil promo card. Pyroar does look pretty cool there, so yeah, I can see what they mean by never before seen. 2 foil trainer cards, Blacksmith and Fiery Torch. The Charizard EX box did that as well. 3 Pokemon training card booster packs, which would be Flash Fire and XY. What am I right? Yes. And a quick guide to building a great fire type deck, and a bonus online code for unlocking 3 promo cards in the Pokemon trading card game, which would most likely be Blacksmith, Fiery Torch, and Pyroar. Most likely, probably, most likely. It said promo cards, didn't it? Yes, promo cards. Oh, okay, I'm not too sure. I know Pyroar would be one of them. Not too sure what the other 2 promo cards will be. Anyways, this looks pretty cool, so let's open it up. Especially the fact it's going to give us a bit of an insight into a fire deck. I've probably got already some idea. You run Blacksmith and Fiery Torch. Play them in combo with like Mega Charizard. You know, all that kind of expected stuff. Alright. I hate plastic. Okay. Got one hardest part off. Now we've got to actually open it. Yeah. At least that part was easy. Okay. Ugh. I opened it like really badly. And again, everything would have fell out. That's from the back. Okay, so we got our little quick guide to fire type Pokemon. Pyroar's fire tricks. So that's right, Pyroar from Flash Fire was supposed to be quite good for countering EX cards because it only be damaged by, it could not be damaged by basic type Pokemon. Pyroar comes with Pyroar, of course, plus 2 really great trainer cards, Blacksmith, which is Flash Fire 88 out of 106, and Flash Fire, Fiery Torch, which is XY Flash Fire 89 out of 106. What do these cool cards do? And how do they work together? Let's find out. Right, so Pyroar, of course, is Black Star promo XY26. We can't use the other Pyroar, unfortunately. This Pyroar in this box has Royal Flare attack, which costs 2 fire types and 2 energy types of any type, and does 120 damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. Yowza! It also discards 2 energy attached to Pyroar, but that's okay because Blacksmith card attaches 2 fire energy cards from the discard pile to one of your fire type Pokemon. They work together in a great team to keep the damage coming. And Blacksmith and Fiery Torch combo's pretty simple. Fiery Torch lets you discard 1 fire energy from your hand to draw 2 cards. Blacksmith allows you to attach 2 fire energy cards from your discard pile to one of your fire types. So discard, draw, and reattach the energy, burn through your deck faster, which also can lead to decking out your deck pretty quickly. This does work for getting cards onto Mega Charizard pretty quickly if it's onto your bench, or even to Charizard EX from the Flash Fire expansion. Fuel for victory, better yet, Blacksmith is always fueling your fire type decks and reducing the downside of attacks like Slugma's XY 20 out of 146, or Simisears, which is from XY 23 out of 146. Flamethrowers, Talonflame, XY 28 out of 146. Flare Blitz, Braxkin's Fire Tail Slap, which is 25 out of 146. Sure, you discard attached energy as part of his attacks, but with Blacksmith you can get them back easily. You're recycling your fire energy right back into play so you don't run out of fuel. And another tip here is fire deck basics. To build a fire deck you need a good mix of fire and fuel, enough to stomp down the opposition quickly. fire decks burn hot, but they can also flame out fast, so build carefully. As a starting point, use about 15 fire energy, 4 copies of each of your favorite basic type fire type Pokemon, and 16 fire training types to keep your hand full of cards and your opponents off balance. Include Pyroar, Blacksmith, Fire Torch from this box, and don't go over 60 cards of your deck. And to be honest, that tip actually does apply to almost any deck, not just a fire deck. 15 energy cards is about the recommended for any deck. I run about 15 energy card in about almost all my decks, unless there's going off the usual formula. I don't usually run 4 copies of a particular basic type unless it's my dragon deck. I probably should run that. I usually run about 2 or 3, depending on what cards I'm using, of course. 16 trainer cards sounds about right, again depending on what formula you're running, but for a basic formula 15-16 is quite good. And I think you're going, I'm trying to remember the formula for basic and Pokemon cards and all that. Whatever's left is what you should be running. On the back we also have famous fire type Pokemon of the X and Y series, of course Mega Charizard EX, the fire variant, works very well. And we, of course, we're mentioning the Fennekin, Braskin, and Delphox from the XY expansion. I have mentioned them before. Delphox's mystical fire ability is always great for bringing cards back into your hand, and Blaze Ball if you've got more fire energy cards onto Delphox as well. So, ironically, that's been brought up again. I've been using that long before Flash Fire. Fletching, Fletchtinder, and Talonflame, Litleo, Pyroar from Flash Fire. Simisear from XY, and Slugma from XY again. Torkoal from Flashfire. Some examples, some great fire types you could run in a fire deck. Roaring Flames deck. This deck is powerful speed and serious knockout potential. 3 of these cards are included in the Pyroar box. See if you can find them and trade for the rest. Alright, so they've got an example here as well. I don't know if you guys can see it, but if you are looking for a fire deck, that's an example of running one. So you probably would need what I can see, you'd probably need a few of the theme decks from Flashfire, and luck out on booster packs to get the Mega Charizard and the Charizard EX cards. You'd also would need 2 of the Charizard Promo Stars box too. You'd also need Black and White Legendary Treasures, ironically, as well. I think I've got them. You might be able to substitute Emboar, Pignite, and Tepig, but if it's the Emboar that I'm thinking of, you may not be able to substitute that easily. Other than that, that's a pretty sound deck, but that does give you an idea on how to run a fire deck. As I said, you might be able to substitute here and there, but for some of them I don't think you can. Anyways, let's get into some actually looking at this. But that is very interesting. Alright. They like doubling up on plastic, don't they? I might actually keep a hold of that quick guide. I don't usually keep a hold of the guides, but that one I may have to. Okay, so that's our little promo card there to redeem them. And here is our foil card. So these are the only ways to get foils of this card, I'm pretty sure, because I don't think I've got foils of them otherwise. May have to double check. So we've seen Fiery Torch and Blacksmith before in my other videos. They're quite common with Flashfire. They are given out in the theme decks. They're also given out in Charizard EX box. Where is my Flashfire? Just double check I've got promos of this ones already. I'm pretty sure I don't. Right at the back. No, I've got no promos at the moment for Flashfire. But I'm assuming that's where they're the only way to get them. I'm just going to flop into my folder now while I've got them in my hand. I need an episode to show off Flashfire as well because I've fully completed this collection. Not so much the promo cards, I am still missing a few promos, but that's because I can't find them. A lot of them are blister pack promos, so if I can manage to find them somehow, I'll show them off. Otherwise, I'll have to spend an episode just showing off the main collection. Alright. Alright, so how am I supposed to get that out? Ah, there we go. That was insanely difficult. Alright, so there's our Pyroar. See if I can get that up close. It's got Crunch, it's got Royal Flare. So Crunch is 30 damage, requires 1 fire energy and energy card of your type. Flip a coin of heads, discard an energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. Again, that is really good. And Royal Flare, 120 damage, requires 2 fire energy and 2 energy cards of your type. Discard 2 energy attached to this Pokemon. And as explained in the quick guide, you can always use, I think it was Blacksmith, to get them back and attach them straight back to Pyroar, which is quite handy. So you can always keep recycling your fire energy cards. So that one also got the back of my Flashfire collection, because it's a promo card, as well as my, that will go with my Charizard card actually. And of course our 3 booster packs is 2 from Flashfire and 1 from the X and Y expansion. So like I brought that collection out with me. Alright, so let's open up XY first. Alright, so we got Inkay to start off. We got Slugma, who was mentioned as well, so if you want to fire type you can bring Slugma. I think Macargo would work as well, to be honest. Pansage, Staryu, Swirlix. We've got Muscle Bear Reverse Holo. We've got Yvantal, Normal, OP, Dodrio, and Whirlipede, and Team Flare Grunt, which is also great as well for discarding energy cards from stupid Yvantal EX. Alright. So, that was that one. Okay, so next we've got a Flashfire expansion. Redemption code over there. Alright, so we got Pidgey to start us off. We got Stunky. This is Flashfire as well. Duskull. We got Flabebe, Pineco, Pyroar, Elitleo, sorry, Reverse Holo. Quillfish is the rare. Ultra Ball, and Fletchtinder, and Luxio is the last Pokemon. And I don't need any of Flashfire because I've 100%ed Flashfire as well, including Reverse Holos, so they're all duplicates. Yay! And the last one. We have Roselia, Goomy, Flabebe, Sandile, Bergmite. We have Binnacle Reverse Holo. We have Druddigon as the rare, who is also a holo. We have Sacred Ash, which is another good card. Shuffle 5 Pokemon for your discard pile into your deck, so that's another way of recycling any Pokemon you've had to discard or you've been knocked off. Floodette and Protection Cube, which protects Pokemon from recall damage. So who'd be an example? I'm pretty sure Talonflame would be an example for discarding any or preventing any recall damage. I know one of the Charizard Megas was also a good user of that, since one of them did need a recall damage to be able to pull off something. Alright, and that'll be it for this episode. I did have plans to show off what the Flashfire expansion did look like, just fully completed, but I don't think I've got any time. That guy kind of took up most of this episode, which I don't particularly mind, because that is some nice handy information that you can take on board to build a fire deck. Fire decks can be quite fun to run, especially if you run Delphox in that deck. This will be quite handy to run as well. Chuck a Charizard Mega Fire Ant in there and you'll be all good to go. As for the Legendary Treasures one, that might be a little bit hard to get a hold of. I know I do have that electronically, but I don't actually own it physically, so I may have to try and hunt that one down, or get a hold of some Legendary Treasure booster packs again. But yeah, I might try and build that deck electronically, see if we can put that one together. But yeah, next episode will be the Crocodile EX box, and then we'll move back on to the Furious Fist collection again. So yeah, as always, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to check out my video. If you haven't already, make sure to check out the previous episodes I have done on card openings, including I've already opened up the theme decks for Furious Fist, which was Dark Hammer and Enchanted Echo, which is Pangoro and Sivion, Dark Fighting and Fairy Grass type. And if you like what you see, make sure to stick around. I will have a lot more videos coming up for Furious Fist and a lot of other card openings to do. So, until then, this is Lady KrimZen saying ciao for now, but not forever. Ciao!